All right. I've got a news article here. This is from Rolling Stone, Australia. Australian senator calls for review of anime over child abuse fears.
What?
Let's see here. The Center Alliance crossbencher unveiled his plan on Wednesday as the AAP reports, calling for a ban on anime and manga and requesting an urgent overhaul of the classification board.
Oh my god.
You said Australian?
In Australia. There is unfortunately, these his words, there is unfortunately a dark side and a disgusting side to anime and manga, with a significant proportion of the two media featuring child abuse material, Griff explains during his speech. They contain depictions of wide-eyed children, usually in school uniforms, engaged in explicit sexual activities and poses, and often being sexually abused. In 2014, Japan passed a law that banned images of child abuse, though it excluded anime and manga companies from persecution as their works do not portray images of real children, a sentiment that Mr. Griff himself challenged.
So he wants them banned, or he wants them classified?
He wants them classified to be banned.
He wants them banned, and he wants an overhaul of the classification board.
So there'll be no Pokemon.
What? Why?
It's an anime.
Well, I don't think he's saying all anime. I think he's saying
No,
like,
I think he
the
is
ones that-
saying
No, he's saying
that.
all anime, trying to force a classification to differentiate some of these. I think is what he's going for. Right? Am I interpreting that the correct way?
The way I'm interpreting it is he wants those banned, and to prevent things like this from the future, he also wants to overhaul the board, I feel like is what he's saying.
Okay.
Because he's talking about the classification board in Australia, not like in Japan.
Okay. So then he would be banning all anime, and then they classify all this stuff differently as it comes into Australia. I know they have like a very... It's much more strict than a lot of other like countries for just like Left 4 Dead was banned there way back when.
Yeah.
Let me read a little more. During his speech on Wednesday, Mr. Griff went on to specifically mention works such as Sword Art Online and Arrow Manga Sensei, noting that the latter was the worst anime his office discovered. The classification board appears to be making decisions in isolation of criminal law. This must stop, Mr. Griff continued. There's also an issue of explicit manga graphic novels, which are not vetted at all by the classification board. Often the images they contain are more harrowing than anime. This must also change.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I think there should definitely be like a rating system.
Sure,
on them,
yeah.
Which there is in the States. Like,
For sure.
Like if you try to buy Berserk, they're sealed, and it says like 17 plus on them.
I mean, I think that sounds fine. You know, it's you want it to differentiate between the people that are like, you know, video games should be banned. They cause kids to be violent. You know, meanwhile, kids are playing Minecraft and creating things. You know, it's obviously not the same.
Yeah.
You know, but no, I get you. So, interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
Thank you.
Jesus, Aaron.
I can't see. I give up.
You ripped it in half and then gave up.
I can't see what's going on.
That's yours.
Damn it! What?
I'll get the other
Your
half and another.
No, I mean as far as that goes, like I think there needs to be. If they don't have any
No, I'm
classifications,
kidding. Give it to him.
if it's just anime is anime, and
Calvin
that's
just
all
wants
it is,
justice.
Yeah.
then yeah, they probably should. Especially if they, like, I don't know, do they classify it as like cartoons? Is it in the same category as that?
I don't know.
Because even cartoons should have their own categories in them. You
Definitely,
know?
yeah. Like, not kids shouldn't be watching Rick and Morty.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I probably wouldn't let like my 4-year-old watch Rick and Morty, or I don't know, Leon. Maybe not. You know, there's sometimes they get into some interesting things.
Sometimes.
But at 10 years
soul
old,
bonding.
at 10 years old, I was playing Grand Theft Auto, banging prostitutes in the alley, and then running them over. You know?
Was there commas in there, or is that what run-on sentence?
No commas.
Playing Grand Theft Auto, I was banging prostitutes in the alley
all the same
and
time.
running them over.
But his main issue seems to be not necessarily the sex and violence, but the fact that the characters look or are children.
Yeah.
I think is his main
I
problem.
can understand.
I
that.
can understand that too. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's a fine line there between that. Like there was actually locally, there was an local art teacher that got in trouble because he would have kids sit for portraits. Like if they got like like he was a portrait artist, but he got in trouble because he was also redrawing those same kids in the nude and selling those online or in person. All
Yeah.
right.
So if he was
So
a bad
these
artist,
are and he's an amazing artist.
Yeah,
If he was a bad artist, it might not have been a big deal, but because of his talent, they looked, like these kids, and they were real children because he had them sit for portraits. Like he never actually abused anybody or anything, or made them sit like in the nude or anything.
Sure.
He would do like the good version, and then he would do the bad version. He went to jail.
Yeah.
So,
so if Aaron drew something, he wouldn't go to jail.
yeah, probably the judge would be like, nah.
Is it even human?
Do you think that?
I wonder if he would have went to jail
Looks like a cat.
doing that for adults.
Yeah,
I, know, I wonder.
I mean, people draw celebrities.
I wonder if he would
and
he
fan art and stuff, right?
would he have gone to jail if it wasn't real kids that he knew and it was just like he made up these?
Probably not, but because
You
it was
know?
like specific real kids.
I'm just
that
curious
he
on
was
like that,
doing
like
something.
what, how they look at it. It's a
that-
weird subject.
It's a really weird subject, but it does have like a lot of like, yeah. I mean, he's not like these kids are being victimized because he's so good at drawing.
Their likenesses are
their
being
likenesses are
reproduced
being used
in a way that
in
is not.
Yeah. Which is just one of those things where it's like, yeah, is there a gray area? Because you would think, no, not really. I mean, he shouldn't be doing that. But it's only because he's so good at it, Interesting.
Even when we're watching Code Geass or My Hero, like sometimes you ask, how old are these kids?
Sure. Yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. So you just roll over, you're done.
It's just weird how
Poor
different
choice of words,
cultures
Eric.
can be. And over there, like, reported rapes are like way lower than other parts of the world and stuff, too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just weird that, like sometimes you would think, oh, over there, they're crazy, fucking psycho people. But they're not.
Yeah.
They're just weird.
Well, it's also reported rapes, not necessarily.
Well, that's the only thing we have to go by.
Yeah.
Like the reported rapes here versus the reported rapes there.